Yes, guys, welcome to Pure Coys TV. On today's video, I'm going to be talking about that Brad Friedel interview alongside Simon Jordan on TalkSport. A really, really good watch. I implore every Tottenham fan to get over and watch it. It's so insightful and just gives you a little idea of what's going on at Tottenham Hotspur. Guys, before we get into today's video, please do me the honour of liking the stream, subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell notification so you know when all of my content is about to drop. So Brad Friedel has dropped a bit of a bomb at Tottenham Hotspur today with his interview on TalkSport alongside Simon Jordan. Said some really interesting things and some things that probably didn't surprise many people, but Daniel Levy was very high on his list of people that he really, really liked, which is quite interesting. Obviously, he started by talking about the World Cup and about USA's chances. He said they probably wouldn't get very far. They might have a chance of reaching the quarterfinals if they're lucky, but he expects England to be one of the favourites to win the tournament. Fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. He then went to talk about, obviously, Pochettino, whether he would stay at the US. And he said he would love Pochettino to sign for another 4 years, but he thinks it's more likely that he will head out the door and maybe, almost certainly, back to England and hopefully for him and for me, Tottenham Hotspur. But we will see what happens. Him and Simon then had a little bit of a to and fro about Pochettino. And he speaks so highly about him. He really does. Says what a good coach he is, what a good manager he is, and how when he's at your club, he puts everything, heart and soul into the club. And it's what we want, isn't it? He also spoke about Daniel Levy. He said Daniel Levy was an absolutely fantastic chairman at Tottenham. And maybe the problems at Spurs now are because Daniel Levy's actually left. And there is no one running the ship anymore. And I think he's probably right there. As much as I'm not a Levy fan, we certainly seem to be in a lot of trouble since Levy has left. He then went on to say about Pochettino and Levy and how if they had just maybe kept going for another couple of months, they could have sorted out any differences and really moved forward with Tottenham. But it is what it is. And then he went on to the current Spurs side. He was asked if Spurs could get relegated, of which he said, of course, they could get relegated with the mess they're in currently. He went on to talk about Van der Ven and if Harry Redknapp was in charge, which would have been his choice to come in as interim, then if he'd ignored Harry Redknapp, he would have been out of the side the very next week. He then went on to talk about something really interesting, and it was American football. And listen, I'm not a big American football fan, but he was talking about wages. And if Spurs go in for a player worth 200k a week and Man City and Liverpool go in for that player, he's going to go to Man City or Liverpool because Spurs cannot attract the top players. He goes, even if Spurs offered the 250, 260, they might get the player. But the player then isn't coming to Spurs because he wants to play for Spurs. He's coming because he just wants the money. And then he went on to an American football thing, and he said, at the New England Patriots, they didn't pay the highest wages, but they came to New England to win. And then they went off afterwards, once they'd got their rings, got the big bucks somewhere else. And a lot of them then ended up at New England at the end trying to win another ring because they couldn't win it anywhere else. And that's for me what I'd like Spurs to be. Okay, we don't pay the higher wages. You come to us to win, and then you can go and earn your money elsewhere. But we're winners. That's the kind of mentality we need at Tottenham. We are so far from that, though. Currently, it is unbelievable. But let's see what happens in the next 5 to 10 years. That's the kind of club that I would love Spurs to be, though. Don't need to offer the top money because the players want to come because they know if they come to Spurs, they'd be winners. Like I say, a long way off, but maybe one day. And then they got into the conversation about Christian Romero. And it isn't a long one, and I'm going to play it. But interesting words from Brad Friedel. Let's bring it up. Let's see what he says about Christian Romero.
It's this mentality thing. And
I mean, they've got Christian Romero, Brad, the World Cup winner.
Come on. Seriously.
Go on.
Look, he's one of the petulant ones. He's one. If you took one of the managers that...
But he's one of your winners. Is he not?
With Messi. with Emi Martinez, with other players that might put him in his place. Like if he's going to be the winner and
he's going to be your leader.
If he's going to, yeah, because
so is he your kind of captain?
No, he's the kind of that I might have problems with in the change room, because the issue is you'll have young players, and you always have players at clubs that aren't leaders. Always have it. And the players that aren't leaders, they look to attach to somebody. They do. So if you take Luka Modric, he walked in, nicest human being, humble, quiet, did his work, fantastic player. Young
Guys, I would leave it there, but he just said exactly all we needed to hear, right? Romero is not his kind of captain. He's the kind of captain that he would end up falling out with, having problems with. And he is so right. When you look at it, these young players that we have, these young players that are in our squad now, we have a lot of them, they need a leader to look up to. They need players to look up to and go, yes, that's my captain. Christian Romero is not proven to be that. And sad to say it, but if Mickey van der Ven is ignoring the manager, I'm not sure if he did, by the way, but if he is, if he's being petulant and storming past the manager, which he did do to Frank, he's probably not the leader we want either. So who is the current leader in the Tottenham squad that we have? We need leaders. We are in a relegation fight. Who can we get in? Who have we got in this current squad that would lead this side? Now, it's a really dangerous thing to do, isn't it? To take the captaincy away from Romero or for Van der Ven at the moment. It's probably something we can't do. But next season, we really have to think hard about who our next captain is going to be. Guys, I'm going to leave it now. I thought it was a really interesting interview. If you haven't seen it, honestly, get over to TalkSport, subscribe to their channel and watch the interview. It is absolutely brilliant. I will put the link in the comment section, guys, or in the description. Get over there, have a watch. Let me know what you think. I thought it was a really interesting conversation. Guys, have a fantastic day. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, stay positive, stay poised, and stay Pure Coys.